Hello everyone, my name is Callum and welcome to my video explanation or guide on the Crosshair browser extension, which at this time is only available in Google Chrome and other Chromium based web browsers. This is something I created in my free time and I believe would be helpful when playing BOTP Spot the Ball competitions, and I've made it available for free on the Chrome Web Store, with plans to expand and make it available in other browsers such as Mozilla Firefox in the future. I'd like to demonstrate what the extension is capable of and hopefully give an understanding of why I've added specific features to the extension. So this is the screen you'll see when playing Spot the Ball on botb.com, which requires you to create an account on their website and put a ticket from either the midweek or the dream car competitions into your basket before you can play. Once you're on this screen, the extension buttons and features will be enabled. And you may choose to pin the extension button to your navigation bar to allow for easy access whilst playing, which I highly recommend doing. And it's done by clicking the jigsaw shape here and clicking this pin button, which may be white on your screen if it's not pinned already. So I'll start by talking through some of the features of this extension and we'll work our way down from the top. So the first one is the calculate average button. So this button has two different functions or features. It will first give you an average of your X and Y coordinate values, which it will place in these two boxes on this window. And then it will take this average and plot it on the picture for you in a coloured cross. And this cross colour can be changed using the drop down at the top right here. You can see there's 5 different colour options there, and you may find that useful when you're playing on a picture where, say, yellow is very hard to see, or where red is very hard to see, and so on and so on. So I'll just do a demonstration of how that works if I just put some crosses on the screen. Okay, so if I click the calculate average button, you can see I get my average in the middle of the two, and you can see it's a yellow cross because yellow has been selected in the drop down list. Now you may decide that you want to add an additional cross and do an average between the 3 that are in play, and that's very easy to do too. You just simply put a cross where the third location is, and then you can go back here, and I'm going to change the colour of this average to a different one and press calculate average, and you can see we've got 2 averages on the screen now. It's worth pointing out that these averages aren't actually part of your cart, so if I was to check out now based on the free tickets I've played, only those free tickets would be in my cart. It wouldn't put these averages in my cart. So if you want to add these to your cart, you just simply have to click them, and then it will get added into your tickets that are in your cart. Before we move on, there's something I need to cover while we're on the subject of calculate average. So if you put less tickets in your cart than you end up playing, you won't be able to have multiple averages. I'll just demonstrate this because it'll be easy to understand if I show you. So if I put a point now, you'll see I've got 1 ticket in my cart, which is this Mercedes. If I put my first point on the screen, that's fine. And obviously if I calculate average, it's going to give me that same X and Y. So if I put another one on the screen, it obviously adds another ticket to the cart. Now if I do an average of those 2 points, I'll get my expected result. I'll get my X and Y numbers. I get a yellow cross. Now if I decide to play another ticket to do my next average, you'll see that the yellow cross disappears. This is something that's out of my control at the moment, and it's not behavior that I really want. but it's something that I'll have to revisit in a later release. But you'll see now, if I do a calculate average, it's fine, it will come back when I do the next one. And if I delete one of these coordinates, like this, it doesn't get rid of it. So I can then do the average that I want to do, which is just those two. And there you go, I've got 2 on the screen. But this is very easily avoided if you simply just add a high quantity of tickets to your cart, and then you can just calculate average, add another one in, and you won't lose these averages you've already made. I can go further with this and show you other behaviors. So if I try to replay a ticket, you'll see all the averages disappear again. So that'll always happen. That happens regardless. And again, it's behavior I don't want, so I need to revisit that. But unfortunately, it's not something that at this time is consistent. And so it's just something to bear in mind. I would hope people write down their averages if they plan to revisit them later, but obviously this is just something to be aware of in the meantime. When I have the behavior down consistently, you won't have to worry about this, because I'll have found a way of either keeping the coordinate on the screen or having a method of saving that information so you don't lose it. So the next button on the extension that we'll demonstrate is the hide coordinates button here. And it's very simple, it just hides them from view. So if I click it now, you'll see the crosses on the screen will all disappear. Now I find this really useful for when I redraw lines, because I'm not biased based on where my previous points were made. And so I can find a new spot and then compare and do an average of that based on where I believe the centre of the ball to be on this picture. If you place a cross then, say I've done some lines, if I place a cross now, like there, you'll see that it puts the cross on the screen and the other crosses remain hidden whilst you've got that one on the screen. But if I wanted to then hide that cross, I could simply go into the extension again and press hide again. So the next feature I want to demonstrate is the show coordinates button. And it's pretty self-explanatory. It will show all the coordinates that have been hidden. So now I have all my coordinates back from what I plotted previously, including the averages that were made as well. So the last functionality I want to demonstrate on my extension is the show or hide draggable target, which adds a target picture used by BOTB when announcing the results of a competition onto the screen, which you can then drag around to a location of your choice. And this could be lined up with one of your crosses on the picture to see how you feel about your coordinate location, or another way it could be used as the guide. If you play your coordinates in a pattern, you could determine roughly how many would land in zone 1 in a given scenario. So I'll just demonstrate it now for you. If I press the button, you'll see there's the cross that appears. Now the centre is highly transparent, so you can just line it up with your crosses. If I thought, oh, this average looks pretty good, I could line it up. And if I decided that that's a good spot, I might choose to move my pixels nearer that location. You'll note that the magnifier doesn't go over this because this is technically on top of the picture. But the good thing about that is that this target can be then hidden once you've made your decision on how you feel about it. So if I then hide it, obviously the picture goes back to normal. I can get back here again. And if I want to add it back to the same location, rather than having to drag it across, I can just press the button again and it will remember where I've left it. So it will just go back to that same location. So that covers off all the features that are in my Chrome extension. The only thing we haven't looked at on there really is the About Crosshair button, which just opens up this little web page here and just tells you a bit about me. And there's a PayPal donation link in there as well, but it's completely optional whether you donate or not, because I didn't make this for a profit. I made this to improve my programming skills and get better at JavaScript, which I've only started recently. So this is the end. Hopefully this video helps explain how the extension works, what you can do with it. I know it's far from perfect to this point, and I want to continue adding to it and improving it going forward. But I'm happy to take any questions or feedback from anyone, and I'll take that view on board or respond if I can. But I won't promise any miracles. But I want to try my best to make this extension as good as it can be. And thanks for watching. Good luck with any competitions you might play.